Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome to you. Today I'm going to be doing the August 2020 reads, and I am doing them on a sort of angel theme. So where I normally pull out a charm at the end of the reading, this month I'm going on the Archangels, the 7 of them, and we'll pull a feather out just to see what angel is going to be around you and the reasons why that may be from the reading that we've got here. I'm going to be reading for my lovely Aries. So Aries, I have my starter cards here because if you are my regulars, you do know that I do my little bit of meditative poetry from the cards that I pull, hence my name Poetry Witch if you are new to the channel. So without further ado then, Aries, the first card that came out for you for this month, for August, was fear. Okay, so when I was looking at this, we've got two sort of stories here because we've got two people, and I felt on the one side of the coin, I was looking at people who may have lost babies through miscarriages, and it was this fear factor coming in of I'm here again, and you know, it was like the fear of getting pregnant again because you'd gone through that process of a miscarriage. And that's not going to resonate with all of you, but I did sort of have that leap out at me when I started this reading. Okay, so for some of you, I was picking up that there are some out there in this fearful position where they could have got pregnant, and then you're in this fight and flight mode of thinking, I lost the first one. Is it going to happen again? Okay, is my body going to go through the same process? And this is what I was picking up with some of you, okay? The other aspect of this card, the fear card, was there's elements around you where some of you are in your comfort zones, okay? And it's having that courage to have a leap of faith. Now, this could be you are fearful in change because there may be changes around your jobs at the moment. You could have been made redundant through the pandemic, and then it's fearful because you're thinking, you know, where do I move from here? What job can I go for next? And there's all this fear comes into the mix, okay? And this is what you've got to dispel. This is your message, like from the angel reading here, that you have got to dispel this fear factor as we go into August, whatever is keeping you, I want to say entrapment as well. This could be to do with relationships where you're in a vulnerable situation. You could fear, you know, within a sort of domestic violence type of situation as well for some of you, not all of you, but I'm just covering the aspects here of what this fear could symbolise. And also there may be fear because it's like the naked truth that some of you could have some issues around illness and you are diagnosed with something that absolutely, you know, puts fear into you, okay? And you're thinking everything's black, your whole world just crumbles then, and you just think the worst of the worst. This could be not directly at you, this could be somebody, a family member around you, but this is having a knock-on effect because then you are fearful for that person as well. So it's as though you're trying to meet your problems, okay, head on, when they're not, some of them aren't even there. You start to sort of project all these fears when really they might not even come into fruition. So this was the energy, this fearful energy that I was picking up. Will this happen? Will that happen? What's going to happen here? And everything else. And this is what you've got to work on, okay? So as we move along, the next card that came out was Queen of Trees, and it was Nurturer. And it was like to say here, I've got all the green and the blue colouring on this card, all the emotion, all the tears, all the, like I say, the fear, the worry and everything that has been around you, okay? And it's saying again, this is the energy I feel that has been around you, or this could be coming in, creeping in at the start of August with the information and the scenarios that you're going to be faced with. But it's basically saying with the Queen of Trees that, okay, you have to try and, like I say, nurture yourself out of this spiraling, fearful fight and flight. I want to say, because you're putting yourself in fight and flight. And when you do that, it does make you become poorly as well, okay? So the next card that came out was, it's the Ace of Fire, okay, here. And I look at the throat chakra on this card because it's a fire element, and this was like, this is your burning passions, really. And some of you are absolutely wanting to speak out, wanting to let out exactly what you're feeling inside, what you've been bottling up inside of you, okay? And because the spider is encroached on the throat chakra, it's like to say you've been fearful, okay? You've been fearful of letting out and speaking out as well for some of you, okay? So you are bottling up all these feelings, and it becomes like a internal furnace because it's just eating away and burning away inside of you, okay? And it's as though the spider's web, in a metaphorical sense, is, like I say, you're trapping your own voice because you're bottling up the feelings. You've got to break that spider's web and allow your voice, your opinion, your feelings and everything that you're bottling up deep inside of you. Because if that's like on the first card here, okay, the fire within the pit of her stomach there, okay, is this demon here, okay, this demon here, and this spider's web that you're getting caught up in. But that you are the spider, in a metaphorical sense, you are the spider spinning your own web, okay? And then it's like your self-entrapment, and you've got to let this go, Aries, okay? You've got to work through this because it's just round and round and emotional and making yourself poorly, okay? So we move on, and we have, now this was a nice card, we have the Queen of Pentacles, okay? And this is a really positive card. So you've got a catalyst here of an event going through. There's things you've got to face up to. I want to say face up to the music as well for some of you. But there's issues around you where you need to get out your true feelings, okay? Release the demons that you've got bottled up inside you. And you work through all this because if you look at this card as well, can you see the bird cage here that is attached to all these ropes that she's holding? Like, it's as though you're, like I said, you're entrapping yourself, and this is what you've got to release. You've got to release all. It's like you're just towing a line of negativity. The crows here are symbolising all the negativity, all the negative thoughts and everything that are just burning up inside you. Now, I'm not saying for 1 minute you are not experiencing, you're not experiencing ill health, you're not experiencing the news of a family member who's had some really, bad diagnoses. I'm not saying you're not experiencing any of this loss, hurt, worry to do with money or anything else. But all I'm saying is, whatever the worries are, by magnifying it, 1,001 under the magnifying, because it blowing it up even more out of proportion, then sitting there and thinking, okay, this is sad, this is hard, this is difficult, and yet I do get upset about it. But it's about controlling that fire, controlling the feelings. And once you start to get that under control, okay, once you start to sort of just work through your, just work in the here and now. That's what I want to say. Don't future portray or make this future vision of, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Dispel that, because that's just adding fuel to the internal fire. And if you can master this, Aries, then you will end up as the Queen of Pentacles, just grounded, accepting. And can you see the growth here? Okay, we've got new growth here, and it's allowing you then to deal with the situation as they come in. Okay, she's holding one pentacle here, and it's like to say, yeah, pass me a problem at a time and I will work through it one at a time. Okay, not having an abundance of, like, it's like tipping up a bucket of coins, okay, all over the desk, and then you're thinking, oh my gosh, I've got all these to work through. Whereas if you just pick one out of the bucket at a time, okay, and work through it one at a time, then having to look through and deal with all that mass on the table, you just pick one out of one at a time and do your counting that way, okay? So I'm just saying, you deal with your problems as they come one at a time, not just keep throwing one problem on after another, okay? Because that'll just make you spiral down and get yourself caught up in the spider's web. So let's have a look what the animal spirit is that's coming out for you, Aries. And it's the alchemical sign of Earth, okay? And it's the elk. Now I always look at the elk, okay? The elk is your inner spirit, and an elk is a strong animal, and it can stand and deal with any terrain, okay? So you have got the staying power, the going power, and everything else. But can you have a look at the antlers on this elk? They are on fire. This is mimicking your head, your mind, your thought process. It's just literally, and the negativity, it's like turning the sun with black. It's like having an eclipse over the sun. It's like the darkness comes into your world, because this is again self-sabotaging here with all the mind chatter and everything that is consuming your headspace. So my lovely Aries, these were your starter cards, okay? I am going to open this reading up a little bit more now to see how this month is going to progress for you. But you know, you are dealing with quite a lot of issues, the Aries, this that I'm picking up with, okay? And some of you could, as I say, be in a tricky situation, I feel, in a relationship. And then there's these people, you know, these females who I'm around with the miscarriage, the fear of the miscarriage. But I did feel this time around, okay, it's like to say, dispel those fears, because those fears are just harming the situation even more. And just think positive thoughts. Yeah, this is going to be fine. This is going to all, you know, I'll get past the 12-week stage. Everything's going to be fine. And just keep positive mindset for those who are pregnant for the second, I want to say second time round, because I do feel it was a miscarriage on the first stages, okay? So let's have a look. I'm going to go with that one there. And it's the Hermit, okay? So again, this is your energy here. It's as though, but can you see the guiding light? It's just saying things. The Hermit energy is the energy that you are working with, okay? You've taken you feel isolated. As I said, those who are fearful for the miscarriages, again, you're isolating yourself out there. You're thinking, you're dwelling, you're going over things, over analysing things. And it's saying here, okay, it's saying here that there is a guiding light here. It's like she's sat on top of that rock thinking, I've got no escape, because she's only seeing and projecting her own fears in front of her on this card. But she can't see that actually, if I look down, oh yeah, there's a pathway there, and it's all lit up for me, for, you know, to guide me out of the situation. So that card there just, you know, cements the fact that you have got to stop future projecting fear, okay? Stop future projecting this fear, because once you stop thinking of all the bad things that are happening, start to focus on what is good around you, Aries. You're missing the key, well, yeah, the keys, literally the keys of your freedom and escapism, and the path that you should be just flowing along naturally without having all this fear and darkness around you, okay? So let's just clarify the Hermit card, okay? But some of you as well could have been in a situation, you could have been, as I say, lost your job, you could have come out of a relationship, and you are sitting there in the Hermit energy thinking, what do I do now? where do I go now? I can't see a future for me. And it's like projecting, you're just looking out and out, and it's just saying, hang on a minute, start to have a look what is already around you, because you'll be surprised of what is around you, okay? And where you are meant, you know, your path will be illuminated, and you'll get the signs to say, well, actually, oh yeah, I didn't notice that, because you're too entrapped in all this fear energy, okay? Now here we've got the card 37, and 3 and 7 adds up to a 10, okay, which is an end of a cycle. But this is an actual cuckoo clock, okay? But on this cuckoo clock here, there's that many different there's a, let me just have a look, it's so in depth, these cards are. We've got all the inner workings here. We've got an owl sitting on the one of the cogs here. We've got a timer, okay, an egg timer, and we've got a cockerel, and we've got another exotic bird up here, okay. And there's a candle as well. So I want to say this is, I want to say the energy that this is working around, having the cuckoo clock here. Again, what does the cuckoo do in the cuckoo clock? It just opens the doors and it comes out, and it just looks out and shuts the doors and goes back in, okay? So it's only looking, as this person is here, in one direction. When that cuckoo clock comes out on that spring, it's just out, in, out, in. It doesn't see everything that is working underneath it, okay? So this is like a metaphorical, and it is a deep message, but all I'm saying again is that is, to me, is just spelling out here that you are not looking at the mechanics, okay? You aren't looking at the workings here around you, and it's saying you've got to start to put the wheels in motion for you to start realising where you need to be headed, okay? So that to me is it's just the mechanics of it all, really. It's saying you need to start looking at the mechanics of yourself, and, you know, working on yourself, and not just be that cuckoo who's blinkered because they're just coming out that house and just doing his bit and then going back in, okay? There's more to it than that. There's more of a mechanical workings that you need to be looking at. So I'm going to clarify that card now. Wow, Aries, this is like really deep and metaphorical, but it is quite key, I think, what I'm picking up here. Let's have a look what else we've got. And we have, oh my God, you can't make these cards up, guys. The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. Now look at this card. Make room for this one. Okay, this is your energy again. We've got a person here just inside, just sitting, looking gazingly out the window, okay? And we've got the world here and travel. And the Two of Wands here, okay? And it's saying, again, this is your thought process of, I would like to do this, I would like to travel, okay, I would like to get back out there and start doing things for me. And it's as though you're trying to protect yourself, okay? You're trying to protect yourself from the negativity again. Well, if I do go out there, what happens if something happens to me? What happens if this happens? Or, you know, I get stuck abroad, or, and all these scenarios. So you stop yourself even, you know, going out and doing these things. So again, it's like self-sabotage again. So the Two of Wands here is saying you've got to start to believe that there's a world out there for you, and it's not all this, okay? Because I want to put that there, because it's like she's looking out the window and all she's seeing is this. Well, if I go outside, this could happen to me. Oh, it's a bad place, and everything else. So you could just be caught up in the whole of the pandemic as well. For some of you, could have made you really fearful of going out and doing things what you would normally do. okay, as well, for some of you, because that could come into the mix as well. But I'm just going to get a clarifier now on the Two of Wands. So let's just get a clarifier on the Two of Wands. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. We have here the Queen of Spades. Okay. I want to say with this card here, you look at this and it's like a bunch of flowers wrapped in cellophane. Okay. Such beautiful flowers that are all wrapped up and really need to be put in that vase of water and looked after. Okay. So this is a symbolic thing here saying you are the flower, you are this flower, okay, and you have wrapped yourself up in this cellophane, unable to, I want to say, you unable to breathe, unable to be the person that you are, because you literally haven't got the room. You've tied yourself, this spider has spun such a strong web around you, and you've just got to take the constraints off, like, to open up those flowers, allow them to breathe and what have you. Okay, so that's just like a symbolic message there, really, coming in. But I just want to say you are this flower, and you need to, as in this card here with the the Queen of Pentacles, you need to allow yourself to grow and breathe. I keep saying breathe, Aries. Okay, I want to say you need to breathe as well. And I do feel I was picking up with those who've kept themselves indoors because of the pandemic, and it has, where you'd be an outgoing person, you don't even recognise who you are because you've got this fear. It's made you just fear being outside, and it's put doubts and everything else. And where you're a confident person, I feel some of you've now lost your confidence, and it's hard. And I understand, that some of you could really, really be struggling. So I am going to pull out now one of the Soul Spirit cards and see what the affirmation is for you, okay? So if I can have a card, please, from one of the Aries. I also feel when I look at the 9 there with the flowers, the Queen of Spades, there could be somebody around you, as I said, who's not well at the moment, and that is just like sending out a get well wish as well, with actually gifting or saying sorry to somebody as well. I feel like there's a situation around some Aries where you've got to eat humble pie, and it's like you have to show, send flowers to somebody in that respect to say, look, I was wrong, I'm sorry. And that's why the flowers may also be in the mix. But to me, it is a metaphorical sign to say you are the flower, and you've wrapped yourself in cellophane. You cannot breathe, and you're stifling your own, just letting life rule you when you should be ruling your life. Okay, so let's have a dig in and see what we get for you, Aries. Okay, and I want to get this one here. I've got 2 actually. There's 2 stuck together, so I'm going to go with the 2 for you. That means there's 2 messages needs to come out. I always go with my gut feeling, so let's have a look what we're saying on these. So we have tranquility, okay? There is some nudity on these cards, but it's only the artistry, okay? So I can only apologise for that. That does offend you. It says trust. All will turn out well. Everything will fall into place. Peace of mind and tranquility are soon restored. See, even the universe is saying to you, trust, everything is going to turn out okay. Excuse me. You need to free yourself from these fears, these self-sabotaging thoughts, okay? Because that message there is saying that tranquility and peace is going to be restored back into your life, okay? Everything will fall into place. So that's giving you faith there with that tranquility card. But this other card came out, and it's the artist, okay? And You hold the infinite power of creation within you, a divine artist. Create something beautiful today. Feel the stars shining. You are one with the universe and nature. The eternal light of creation shines through you forever. And I want to say with the artist, you paint your own picture. And the picture that you have been painting has been a very, very dark one, Aries, okay, of late. Seeing yourself in the Hermit colours here, emotion. We've got like a mixture of the blue and the green here for emotions and healing. Okay, so it's saying here you are in charge of that palette, you are in charge of that paintbrush, and I want to say you need to paint some colour back into your world, because it's been too dark and too suppressive in what I'm feeling. And that's why you've got to get in the Queen of Pentacles energy, because then you get grounded and you feel at last, you know, things are restored back to normality. Okay, so I'm going to have a delve around now at these feathers in here. These represent the 7 archangels, and let's just have a dig round of where I feel I want to go. Let's have a look. I feel I want to go with that one there, and it is, oh wow, the Archangel Raphael healing. Okay, so there's a lot of healing needs to be done around you. There is a link in the description box for the angel descriptions of what each angel actually means, and you know why they should be around you for the month, from the symbolisation of the meaning. But that there speaks volumes to me. If the angel of Raphael is around you, it's trying to heal you. Okay, it's trying to guide you and say to you, look, don't worry, things are going to turn out for the better. And you've got to lose all this energy of the elk here, and like it's an earth sign, that means you've got to get yourself grounded and lose all this mind chatter, my lovelies. So I'm going to read you my little bit of meditative poetry now, okay, just to tie up this reading for this month. And let's have a look what we've got for you. So Aries, it says, it is a month to face your fears, let out the real you, break through from the darkness. Know that you can do this. You can stand on your own 2 feet. Speak the truths of passion. There's no room for defeat. You will emerge from the chaos. You will ride this storm. And through this transition, a new you will be born. Much stronger and more grounded. So dawns a brand new day. Breathe in the clean air around you. New opportunities are coming your way. Okay, so that is what I had on my meditative poetry for you. And then I had some little sort of messages for people who could be tuning in. These messages might not directly be about you, but it could be people around you that you know, where it could fit in. Okay, and I had Katie, all will be okay, and it's going to be a boy. And that is why I felt on the start of this card here, right in the middle here, this was to do with those who had the miscarriages. Stefan or Stephen, depending on what part of the world you're from, okay, it is your child. I felt some legalities here, some misinterpretations of somebody not believing that somebody had come to them saying, it's your baby, I'm pregnant with your baby, and you were having none of it, and Spirit are saying, actually, it is your child. This is a product of you, okay. Carl, don't suffer, okay, buy yourself out. And this was somebody who was in the forces, who were absolutely hating it. They wish they'd never joined a Fillmore army situated, okay, and they'd been in there for what, 6 months, and they've realised they made a massive mistake. And it's saying, don't suffer. If you've got to buy yourself out, then do that, because it's not for you. Okay, so whoever that may be, it could be a son, a nephew, okay, or you directly, if it's calling out to you. I've got Marcel, the dress fashion designer is key for you. I felt I had somebody called Marcel who had an absolute natural flair in making their own clothes, and it was saying you need to be harnessing your talents and going down and knocking a few doors of some fashion houses, or starting a course which would lead you into that genre of work, okay? Because you have got a natural talent. You can run something up in literally an hour. You're so quick, whoever this person is. And then I've got Ryan, you're worth more, so stop being the doormat. So I picked up on a message for a Ryan who has had somebody around them who's cheated on them, and then they've come back and they've tried to say, I'm really sorry, and I feel they're doing it again, and you're allowing it to be done, and Spirit is saying you've got to break ties. They do not love you. If they're doing this to you repeatedly, they do not love you, okay? They're not the person for you. So to wake up to that, really, whoever that may be, okay, message for. So my lovely Aries, I hope you can take some of these aspects on board today. Remember, it might not be to you. It could be a cross-watcher. It could be family or friends close to you. Don't force it to fit. If it's not for you, it's, it doesn't resonate with you, then just be respectful and just move on to find a message on YouTube that does actually resonate for you for August. So if you are new to my channel and it does, did tick any boxes for you, any likes, subscribes, comments, helps my channel growing, my lovelies. And thank you for all the returning subscribers. I love all of you, because obviously you're helping me build up my little family tribe here, okay? So until next time, my lovely Aries, I hope you have a great August, and I will look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Bye.